Thank you for watching Meatsauce and Monty. I'm Matt Montgomery. He's Paul Meatsauce Lambert. The best independent sports show in CW history.
I think it's the greatest.
Or the second. We could be the second.
What's better?
Well, the sports show. They were kind of our predecessor back in the day.
Yeah.
Your friend Dark, Sid, going at it.
I miss Dark.
I miss Dark. I miss the sports show.
I miss Sid.
I don't miss.
I do.
Sid. He's
I
still
like
around.
Sid.
You don't see him. You don't run into him every once in a while.
Oh, I thought.
No, Sid is still. Sid's around.
The thing about Sid Hartman is I know like people are like to pick on him.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of Sid.
No, Sid's a legend.
There are a lot of guys that do radio on a station that nobody listens to that they like to make fun of him.
Sure.
Don't make fun of him.
We've shared this story before. Back when I was at Fox 9 in the Vikings locker room, there were a lot of press guys that would rip Sid basically to his face, but behind his back because he wasn't aware that they were doing it.
Rip anybody else. Don't rip Sid.
Sid was everywhere. Sid followed Jared Allen into the trainers area. They had to kick him. Sid in his 90s is more aggressive.
Yeah, Sid's
trying to follow his beat than
Sid's OG, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Sid's a godfather. Don't.
Yeah.
He's
don't
around, do that.
He's going to be around forever. All right. This is different than most weeks. We're going to get right to taking care of business before we talk Vikings.
Sweet.
You want to do any of these reads?
BTO, taking care of business. Sure.
I like it. I'll start off. Pints and Pigskins, Thursdays to Sundays, all season long from noon to 6. Here at Mystic Lake, throw your best spiral. You can get up to $25 free slot play. If you are the season high single day scorer, $10,000 free slot play. Also, game day pick and play from 7 to 11:45 Sundays all season long. Get in here, get your picks in. Mystic Lake, you can also do that at Little Six. Winter winnings from 5 to 10 Fridays and Saturdays, December 7th through the 22nd. 'Tis the season for tech toys.
Wow.
Scott's going to be there for all that. 3 guests could be drawn from 5 to 9:30 p.m. for tech prizes, cash, free slot play up to $1,000. You could get an electronic prize package worth up to $5,000.
Wow.
2 runners-up will win $2,000 in free slot play. The Tenders, home for the holidays. Christmas and the Hits, Thursday, December 13th, 8 p.m., Mystic Showroom. Michael Bolton, the Symphony Sessions Greatest Hits and Holiday Favorites, Saturday, December 15th at 8 o'clock in the Mystic Showroom. He's known for his soulful voice and poignant lyrics. Fans have enjoyed Michael Bolton's ballads for decades. When a Man Loves a Woman, How Am I Supposed to Live Without You?
Great song.
Bolton tours the world each and every year, and he's stopping by here to Mystic Lake. Michael Bolton.
Love him.
Big fan.
Huge fan.
Absolutely. Office Space, the Michael Bolton joke never gets old.
Never gets old. I'm not a big fan of that movie, but yeah.
Really?
Nah.
Why?
I'm just
Too
dumb.
slow?
It's one of those movies that everybody in like the early 2000s, like Mallrats. I think Mallrats is one of the worst movies of all time.
Slow.
But everybody's like, it's great. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's bad. And there are a lot of bad movies I like.
Yeah?
But like,
Bad seems a little far. I'd say you could go slow.
Mallrats
This is coming from a man who hates
the
Christmas
equipment
Story.
Scott has for this TV show is better than the equipment they use.
Agreed. And Scott's sitting there saying, yeah, we're digital now. Mallrats was like practically VHS quality.
No one knows what that means.
A lot of the people at home know what that is. Anybody who goes shopping at Best Buy knows. We're probably in like 4K, Blu-ray quality. Scott's like, yep, just go with it. Almost 3D. People could sit right here.
My hoots must look huge in 3D.
Oh, VR, that's the new Oculus. Now, if we're still around when that goes, and Scott has to have some camera hanging in between us to be VR, so that somebody's like sitting here with us.
That'd
that
be
could
great,
happen.
Yeah.
Would you participate in that?
Yeah, VR whales.
As you sniff your.
The only thing I would watch on well, there's a child over there. Never
Yeah,
mind.
keep it clean. Keep it clean. I know where you're going. We all know where you're going. Now we can talk Vikings. So, this week, 6-5-1 Vikings taking on 7-5 Seattle Seahawks. However, you want to talk about last week, our loss to the New England Patriots?
Last week just
we got to get that out of the way.
And you knew it was going to happen from the second it started.
I didn't know it was going to happen.
They don't lose at home. New England is so good, and you just thought, here we go again. And then when Bailey missed that field goal, it kind of took all the wind out of the sails.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those games where you'd love to have that back on your schedule. And like everybody said, when they lost to the Bills, you were going, well, the Bills and that tie are terrible.
Absolutely.
Because
they're messing up the rest of the season.
They could have 8 wins.
Yes, they
You'd
could.
be in the running for the division. You'd be an outside shot at a 2
They're still
seed.
in it for the division.
I think they win the division.
They wouldn't be in it for a 2 seed. They'd be in it for a 3.
Well, no, but if they had 8 wins, maybe.
Yeah, you're still behind.
Well, still
LA
though,
and
but
New
it's
Orleans.
better than where they are now.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
I'll give you that.
there's stuff there's a lot left in the season. I get that, even though, I mean, there's a quarter left in the season. There's
Absolutely.
4 games.
We're hitting the final,
Right.
the quarter
but
pole.
These losses that the bad losses that they have this is the time of the year where they just have stacked up.
Comes back to
and
haunt you.
it's terrible.
Yep.
That tie and that could be the reason they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah. Green Bay could be the spoiler.
Right.
The story of the week that nobody's talked about, that we talked about on our show, we said the key to the win would be pressuring Tom Brady. 0 sacks. 0 sacks. That, to me, is the difference. Because if you look at the whole thing, 10-10, third quarter, in Foxborough, like you said, in December, where they simply don't lose, you have it tied late in the game, second half. And then we completely fell apart. After it got tied, it was late third quarter, 4-play drive, 1:45, touchdown pass to Josh Gordon. Here's where it really goes. The next possession for the Vikings, 3 and out.
Yeah.
Boom, done. Patriots, 6 plays in their next drive, 3 minutes. That fullback James Devlin run right up the middle, 24-10. That was your final.
One, it also looked at watching that game. It was like the big brother playing with the little brother. Where eventually, the older brother's like, "All right, that's enough.
Sick of you guys.
I'm just gonna win."
Yeah.
And they won. They marched up and down the field when they had to, and they dominated.
What happened? Those 2 drives, it seemed like I said, tied 10-10, second half. Defense has you in it, and it's like the defense fell asleep.
I think the defense is just worn out. I think they were
Really?
just tired of being on the field. I think it was just
Fatigue.
I mean, they played 4 straight night games, and you go, well, who cares? But they like playing noon games. Everyone likes a schedule. You like playing the same thing, and they played 4 straight night games. I mean, as you know, the guys have said, the game started at 4 on the East Coast. It was dark when they started.
Yep.
So it's a night game. So
weird
it's
one.
just been weird, and the schedule has been really, really rough for them in this stretch. And they could have won that game. They just when the pressure happened, they couldn't do anything. It was bad.
So let's talk Dalvin Cook. 9 carries, 84 yards. That's an average of 9.3 yards per carry. John DeFilippo, what is going on behind the scenes with him and Mike Zimmer? People are saying, are they getting along? Is his play calling, is he trying to be cutesy with Cousins versus running it with Cook? Obviously, the run last week was successful. Our leading rusher only had 9 touches. What's wrong with that?
I think they bail on it too early. I think they bail on the running game way earlier than they should. I think some of it could be Kirk Cousins gets up to the line, sees something. He's your franchise quarterback. He's earned the right to kill the play. He's earned the right to change it. He's earned the right to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I think they aren't really on the same page. And the blessing in disguise is the way that this offense has not really clicked, even though Kirk Cousins is in the top 10 in almost every category, touchdowns, passing yards, and all that. He's way better than Case Keenum. All that stuff, you can put all that to rest.
There's a lot of, sure. Well, I'll go with you.
But he may be here again next year, which is good, because you were looking at he won't be a brand new quarterback, but you have a second-year quarterback in this system having to learn another new system. Then you get into that college-like thing where it's, Filippo is now the Browns coach. Okay, great. Who do we have? Well, Mike McCarthy didn't get a job, so Mike McCarthy's the offensive coordinator.
Sure.
Well, then Mike McCarthy gets a job next year, then you got a third one.
Right.
So it gets into that,
Carousel.
Mitch, the quarterback of the Gophers, was terrible, but he had 6 different, offensive coordinators. You can't get really into a rhythm. So the blessing in disguise maybe is Flip may be back next year, so you get another year with the same 2 guys together.
Interesting. You think he and Zimmer are getting along?
Yeah.
You do?
I know they're getting along.
Press is just trying to dig at that?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to do. It's that time of year where
Gotta ask the question.
You're a 6-5-1 team. You're not a 10-1 team.
Yeah.
You're not a 1-13 team. You gotta, they're a mediocre team as of right now. You gotta figure it out.
Last point of last week's game. Adam Thielen and Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Going at it, yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you think that there's any
I love
validity?
Adam Thielen. I hate Bill Belichick.
So you liked
Bill
it?
Belichick.
You liked it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I did
Bill
too.
Belichick is the most overrated coach in any sport.
Well, you're going to say
of
he's
all
the
time.
Phil Jackson. I've
He's
heard the argument
No,
before.
but he's just terrible. I mean, before Tom Brady got hurt, he was a losing coach. He was a losing coach in
You mean Drew Bledsoe, before Tom Brady got started?
He was a losing coach in Cleveland. He was a losing coach in New England.
Yeah.
Until
he had Tom Brady.
I forgot who it was. It was maybe a national radio show. They had a guy on that said they were going to fire him had Had Drew never gotten hurt, they would have fired
Would've been gone.
Belichick.
They were
He's
Super
got the
Bowl
greatest-
contenders back then.
Yeah,
With Drew Bledsoe, but still.
But
All
yeah.
right. So you
I
like
love it. I hate the fact. I mean, I get it's not a rule where you can't. Oh my God, my leg hurts.
I know.
But that's such a Belichick.
Well, they
move.
need to change the rule then,
Yeah.
because it just gives somebody
Yeah.
more time to look at the play and see if they
Yeah.
want to challenge. Obviously, they lost the challenge, but it didn't end up hurting them because later, and this is I don't even want to talk about this, but we probably have time. Everybody's talked about it. It's a dead horse. 4th down, 11 yards to go. He read man-to-man coverage. Treadwell runs like a 3 or 4 yard route. Is that on?
That's dumb.
Well, I agree it's dumb, but nobody said, well, maybe Treadwell cut it short. Maybe, I mean, everybody's blaming either Filippo or Cousins.
It's easy, as you and I and everybody who watches it and talks about it and all that stuff. It's easy to say, well, that didn't work, but maybe you don't see the coverage on the 2 other guys. I mean, there was a couple opportunities where both Diggs and Thielen were wide open.
Yep.
Kyle has to be open. Where's Rudolph in that situation? You should throw to Rudolph. Rudolph should be your guy on 4th and 11.
Agreed, right over the middle.
Right.
Let's talk about this week. Monday Night Football. We're taking on the Seattle Seahawks. This is 2 playoff teams. Right now, if the season ended today, Seattle's the 5, Vikings are the 6. Do you think that it's going to have a playoff feel? I know we've got a quarter of the season left. A lot of things could change. But do you think that this is going to have a playoff feel on Monday night?
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, it's now or never. I mean, I get the statistics and all that, but if you go out and you lose on Monday night,
don't say anything because we're going to save our picks for the end of the show.
Won't,
so
but
don't
if you
give it away
go out
for
and lose
free
on Monday night, then you got Miami. They should beat Detroit. They should beat.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe, albeit a miracle, the game against Chicago could be for the division. Albeit the game against Chicago could be meaningless because they're the 3rd seed and they sit their quarterback and all that. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a total reverse, as it's been the last 2 years, where Chicago comes in as a lame duck with a lame duck coach like they did with Fox a couple of years ago, or even last year, whenever that was. You have to win on Monday. It's the most playoff. It's tougher to win in Seattle than I think it is in New England.
Ooh.
I don't
like where
Seattle
you're going
is
then.
such a.
I don't like where
It's
you're going.
that atmosphere. It's all that. It'll be
CenturyLink
tough to
Field, the
win.
12th man,
yeah,
all that stuff.
It will be as playoffy as you get. If playoffy's a word.
Seattle, this is a stat that took me by surprise because I never would have thought this. Seattle is the #1 rushing offense in the league. They average 148 yards per game.
And they have
a committee. It's like Chris Carson and
Davis
and Penny.
Yeah. And Penny, one of them's hurt, right?
I forget which one it is. Is it Davis? But they've got, they have like these no names. It's not like they have a stud that they ride and then they have a couple that they throw in there. And yet they're almost 150 yards per game. Do you think that is something that bodes well for the Vikings because one of their strengths is obviously our defense and stopping the run? But it's going to be strength versus strength.
The problem they're going to have is like last week they couldn't get any pressure on Brady. You have to get pressure on Wilson, but you also can't. Wilson is so good.
If you put too much pressure
He's
on him,
so
he'll
good.
escape and then he'll run.
And he has 3 good. Lockett's having a great year. Baldwin's good. The other guy that they have, I don't know his name, he's good as well. But everyone thought this is a rebuilding year. They started off so poorly.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is not good. So you have that.
So we might be able to pressure.
It's going to be an absolute tough win.
Going back to the receivers, so you mentioned Tyler Lockett. This is another stat. Seattle has 3 wide receivers with 5 or more touchdowns. Can you name them? You got Tyler Lockett.
Baldwin.
Baldwin is not one of them. See, that's what I was surprised.
I have no idea.
David Moore and Jaron Brown.
I've never heard of them.
Those two have more than 5 touchdowns apiece.
Really?
See, Moore I thought you would know for fantasy, but Brown I had no idea. You'll have to ask Charch next time you see him. Be like, name the 3.
I'll see him tomorrow. He probably will.
He'll know.
We got the Charge Challenge.
Yeah, you
Final
gotta,
2 weeks, man. I don't want to ride that bus.
You don't want to be riding the bus.
Vegas.
Isn't that? Oh, I thought it was. I was going to say, was that Seattle? It is Las Vegas. The last 5 years, either the Vikings or the Seahawks have won their division. So these are 2 fairly successful franchises. This isn't like some shot in the dark, like, oh, it's a playoff year, we're making a run. We're both used to being in the spotlight.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise you?
Well,
Monday
no,
night.
not
does it make it a bigger matchup, or is it still kind of like?
I think it's just. I think it's a good matchup. It's a good football game. I think the schedule makers are great about that. They're very good about putting these end of the year games. Normally they get like the some of these Thursday night
Oh
games
yeah,
are like
garbage.
huh?
Yeah.
And Monday night, some of the Monday
It's
night
getting
games
better.
are bad. But they're very good at it. But yeah, I think this is a marquee game, and that's why it's on Monday night.
Yeah. Do you think the East Coast road trip last week and then the West Coast? A lot of people talk about that. Do you buy into that, or are you saying a road game's a road game? Doesn't matter if it's back to back.
Well, I mean, the obvious comeback is the common man comeback, where you go, well, who really cares? Because they're staying at the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
They're flying private, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, it is still the human body.
Sure.
You're flying from that can take a toll on you. Although they're trained for that. That's why they do it. That's why they're paid the money they do. That's why the training staff that they have is to get them ready for a game like this. Plus, technically, you get one extra day.
Yeah, the Monday night.
And you get to play on Monday night. So, yeah, they'll be fine. But, yeah, it sucks. The schedule makers have done the Vikings no favors.
Yeah. Two more things. Kyle Rudolph, he's up for Walter Payton Man of the Year award. I assume you're close personal friends. You at least go golfing. You tweet about it. What do you have to say about Kyle Rudolph?
I think Kyle Rudolph is one of the greatest human beings that we've seen in the sports world in the history of Minnesota sports.
Nice.
He's a dynamite human being, and I'm not just saying, like, he put most of the stuff I make up about him on this. He's just a really, really, really good guy. And there's a video on Vikings.com about the Dear Kyle thing. I don't know if you saw it.
Yep.
And the fact that there's the thing that always gets me, and obviously any of these parents have to deal with sick children. That's terrible. And I feel for those parents, especially around the holidays. But the thing that stuck out to me is the kid that he went to high school with the spinal injury or whatever, was born with, however you say it, whatever it was. And his dad's like, Kyle hung out with him and sat next to him and still has contact with him.
Yeah.
That's when Kyle was 16. Kyle had no idea he was going to play in the NFL.
Right.
That just shows how good of a guy he is. And then when his wife said, you're Superman to me and the two girls, none of it is, he doesn't do any of it.
It's not for personal branding.
And there are people that do that.
Yep, I know what
there
you're saying.
There are people that do that, and he, in the video.
He's not one of them.
No, he's one of a kind, and this city and this market should be so happy to have him and his lovely wife and all that they do. He's one of a kind.
Wonderful. On a much lighter note, Monday Night Football, the crew, Joe Tessitore. I've watched it, but I don't even know how to say his name.
Tessitore?
Tora, whatever. And then Jason Witten, former Dallas Cowboys tight end, and Booger McFarland. Everybody talks about Monday Night Football being like this institution, and how so there are people saying this is the lowest of the low, that just their team, and how the quality of the product, ESPN, what they've done with it, that it's just in the cellar.
Okay.
Do you agree with that? Do you
100%.
Really? Worst ever.
Witten, Jason Witten, probably a good guy. I think he
is
won.
Josh Witten a movie guy? No, Josh
I don't know.
Witten,
Jason Witten, I think, is a former Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee.
Sure.
That aside, he's awful on TV. He tries too hard.
Yeah.
His toupee is terrible. It's awful. And Tessitore is
Tell him
great.
to put a hat on, right?
Tessitore is phenomenal at boxing.
Oh,
phenomenal. That's his
thing.
play
call is solid.
But
his voice, his delivery.
He's
really?
Awful. Yeah.
Yeah, but they had Sean McDonough.
Is better.
No.
Sean McDonough is better because he gets to play off Gruden. It's all about the sidekick.
Sure.
You can have a great host who's, A, B, C. He gets you to A, he gets you to B, he gets you to C. Fine.
It's like our show.
Mostly the side.
I'm boring, but you're the. I just throw it your way.
I don't mean that, but you're good at what you do. But
Thank
there are
you.
people who are very bad at what they do, but the team pulls it together.
Sure.
Perfect example.
Collective.
The Power Trip Morning Show.
Yeah, sure.
Hockey and Corey, unbelievable what they do. I'm not that good. They pull it together. But all seriousness, and Booger McFarland is
sideline cart,
he's great.
Driving around.
That cart thing's stupid.
So dumb.
He should be up in the booth.
Yeah.
He's way better than Witten. Witten just does it because he's Jerry's guy.
Yeah, Jerry World.
He's Jerry's guy, and if they don't blow it up, if it isn't different next year, my God.
All right, so Monday Night Football crew, pretty much the worst ever.
Yeah, it's just bad, and they kind of put this group together that doesn't work. There's no chemistry between them, and when Gruden left, they should have found somebody else like that. I mean, there'd be plenty of guys who aren't coaching next year that could do it. and just find somebody like that. I'm not kidding you. Have Ben Lieber do it.
Have Ben Lieber do it.
100%.
He's got the
or
chops.
Randall, or
He
John
could.
Randall, or Randy Moss. Put Randy Moss.
You're
up
saying
in
pretty
the
much anybody.
Anybody.
Throw anybody. Anybody
but
with
Whitten.
experience.
I'm better than Whitten.
Yeah. All right. Monday Night Football. Go see it. All right.
Don't.
Time to take care of some business. Here at Mystic, Granger Smith and Rodney Atkins, Sunday,
What?
December 30th. Sunday, December 30th, 8 o'clock at the Mystic Showroom. Granger Smith, a rapidly rising country star.
Are you
he's got
serious?
His following, they're nicknamed the Yee Nation. Yeah, it's a real thing. He's the opening show. Atkins is more invested than ever in making honest, authentic records that tell a story. He's a Tennessee-born singer and songwriter. He's got the chart-topping tracks, Take a Back Road, It's America, These Are My People, and Watching You. You doing anything on New Year's?
What was that first song?
The first song was Take a Back Road. Are you saying that's, you think that has some...
I may join the Yee Nation.
Are you doing anything New Year's Eve?
No, I go to bed early, but if there's something great here, I'll go to that.
There is something absolutely fantastic here. New Year's Eve, they will have the Glow Pop-Up Lounge from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. right here at the Mystic Grand Ballroom. But going on that night, in the showroom, Third Eye Blind with special guest Step Rockets. That's New Year's Eve, the 31st at 8 o'clock in the Mystic Showroom. Third Eye Blind, they've got a larger fan base, younger, more dedicated than ever. They will be joined by the Step Rockets. A lot of self-produced singles. They'll be the opening act. And then coming in 2019, Mystic is getting so busy. We're going to be back here like crazy. Brian McKnight's coming in January. Human Nature Jukebox, they're coming in January. Dwight Yoakam, you've heard?
Are you serious?
Yeah. In Tesla, beginning of February. The Price is Right Live will be here. Grand Funk Railroad, Cheap Trick, and the Monkees, Michael Nesmith and Mickey Dolenz, 2 original members of the Monkees going to be coming here. Would you rather?
Yeah.
We'll go real quick. One of our favorites. Kareem Hunt in the news this week.
Yeah.
Would you rather that the league and the Kansas City Chiefs had handled the investigation differently? I mean, we're talking about
it's a weird thing because, like, did he lie to them? Is that
Well, that's
truthful,
what they're-
or is the
yeah.
NFL just?
Or did the law enforcement? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Should this have been handled differently?
Yeah, I think. I mean, if they truthfully didn't see the video, but the whole thing is. I mean, here's the thing about that.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill's still on your team. He punched a pregnant woman. You don't stand for anything.
Sure, but they got rid. So you think this was more of a symbolic gesture?
It's
just
just
to,
dumb. It was handled super poorly. The guy made a massive mistake. I don't obviously condone any kind of domestic violence. None of it.
or assaulting anyone.
But you have Tyreek Hill on your team. That means nothing.
Yeah.
If it's stupid. We cut Kareem Hunt. Okay, well you have Tyreek Hill on your team.
Yeah.
Why don't you cut
So
him?
you're taking
wait,
one moral stand
he's-
here,
I
but
mean,
not over here.
You have, and Patrick Mahomes would never do this. They wouldn't cut him.
Right. Sure.
I mean, it's like, you know,
I get what
well,
you're
we're
saying.
kicking your brother out of the house. Why? He was smoking weed. Well, the older brother does coke.
Yeah.
Why is he still living with us? It's stupid. It's grandstanding is
Sure.
all it is. Is that the right word?
That sounds right. I think you used it in the right context,
Thank
too. The Packers fired Mike McCarthy. 13 seasons there, 6 division titles, 1 Super Bowl. He's 25th on the all-time wins list for head coaches. Would you rather that they wait till the end of the season?
Yeah.
Yeah. It
He's
seems-
earned that, and I know people are
Agreed.
like, well, he has not. I mean, if you win a Super Bowl, you earn the right to leave at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I feel horrible for him. I think Aaron Rodgers has been basically just tanking it because he doesn't want him as his head coach.
Diva.
I think you're going to find out that Aaron Rodgers is uncoachable. You're
Ooh.
going to run into that.
Yeah.
But that job will be the highest job on the market, and I think the guy who coached Arizona will do it.
Okay. The guy who used to coach
Arians,
Bruce
Bruce
Arians.
Arians, yeah.
All right, last one. Gophers football. They made it to the Quick Lane Bowl. They're going to take on Georgia Tech. Would you rather that they made the Pinstripe Bowl in New York, Music City Bowl in Nashville, Tennessee, or the Red Box Bowl in Northern California?
I don't care about him at all.
Nice answer.
I mean, you shouldn't be able. You
I
shouldn't
appreciate that.
I
I don't care.
my
at
good
all.
friend Tommy, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't, you
I
were
can
6
tell.
and 6 in the Big Ten, in an awful Big Ten,
Yeah.
and you're making it seem like you're going to the Rose
They
Bowl.
got the axe, man. Come on.
It's stupid.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm all
love it.
for those kids,
No,
man.
I get it.
Travel, do whatever you want.
Yep, have fun. In
anyone
Detroit.
who's mad at me and always says that I'm negative, it has nothing to do with the kids.
All right.
I can't stand the head coach. Do you
I
think
get
he's
it.
going to run up and down the
Yeah.
jetway as they wait
dude.
for the plane?
Yeah, he's going to be. And ESPN covering the
Look at
game,
the
he's going
shoes
to,
and-
yep, he's everywhere.
I mean, he sticks out. He wants all the attention
Yep.
on him.
We got 2 more minutes. I have an entire segment here that I want to get through. We normally say this for our YouTube show, but Paul's Pissy Pants, one of my favorites. These are your tweets. I read them back to you. You explain them. You laugh at them. You do whatever you want. This one, I wanted to see how you'd handle this on Sunday morning television. It's a retweet. Thank you for informing me what a Poseidon's kiss is. I nearly cried laughing. Do you think you can say anything about this on Sunday morning CW television?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I looked it up because we do this bit on the Power Trip where we try and get Mark Rosen to say horrific things.
Yes.
And I'm a big fan of Urban Dictionary because
Sure.
Urban Dictionary is the greatest way to get a laugh. Because you say it and then you read it because no one's doing that.
Yes.
We've all had a Poseidon's kiss. A Poseidon's kiss is when you go to and your two hits the water at a speed that creates a splash and the water hits your backside. That's a Poseidon's kiss.
It's like a natural bidet.
That should be the name of the Seattle hockey team.
The Poseidon's kiss.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's
Scott's almost
always
losing
funny.
His headset. He's laughing so
They're
hard.
always funny. Everything on
Poseidon's
Urban
kiss.
Dictionary is funny.
Yeah, I
They're
like it.
so dumb. Because like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the waffle stop. I'll tell you that one off the air.
We'll save that one for a
Yeah.
different time. Let's do one more, and I want to see if this gets you going. Your tweet. This isn't news. It was ESPN tweeting that LeBron James' son scored 27 points. LeBron James' son is an 8th grader. That's not news.
No, I think the news is that he wore 23 at his basketball game, and it was like the 3rd story on ESPN.
Oh.
No one gives a bleep about. I'm sure LeBron James' son is a great human being. No one cares about LeBron's son.
Yeah.
No one.
An
It
8th
doesn't
grader
need
scoring
to be
27 points.
a lead story on one of the most read websites in the world.
Right.
There is no one going, oh my God, I needed to know that. No one cares about LeBron's son.
Yeah.
I hate that stuff.
All right.
He wore 0. No one cares what number an 8th grader wore.
Yeah.
No one.
Don't care.
No one. If you're going to care about one, care about them all.
Sure, and you
There's
can't.
a lot of
It's
great 8th
impossible.
graders doing a lot of good things. Why don't you, whatever.
All right.
I hate it. It's stupid.
Time for our picks. We've blown through our time cues. Todd is our producer. He's like, come on, guys, get it going. So let's do it. Seahawks, Vikings. Your call.
Seahawks win by 5.
Oh, God. See, I always want to go opposite you just for the sake of going opposite. I'll say Vikings win, a nail biter, but I got to say this is the stat that I found most disturbing. The Vikings have lost their last 4 against the Seahawks when they're in Seattle.
Really?
So if we thought it was tough to win in New England, just as tough in Seattle. So on that bummer, I still think we could win the division. So we'll save that for a couple weeks when we're playing Chicago.
Excuse me.
That's going to do it for our show this week. We'll see you here next week, everybody.